1, 2,
2, 3. Piss. I think we're a bit out.
No, I think we've got it as a marker because if we both said piss, we just match it up till we both said piss. And in theory, that should work.
Yeah.
Or do you want to go for another piss test?
We'll go for another piss test.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Piss. Well, that was definitely off.
That was it. That sounded all right to me.
I don't know. I think I said piss before you said piss. I think I pissed before you.
All right. Hello. Welcome to the Super Thundercast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Chris, and we've evidently lost our ability to podcast.
Yeah. Well, if the last one is anything to go by, fucking certainly.
Oh, God, it was a rambling mess. This is the second time we've had to re-record a different podcast.
Yeah. It's because I think I came off as a dribbling idiot. And Chris, you're actually quite coherent, if I remember rightly. I think it was just me. I just came across as a complete fucking dribbler.
This is the thing. You were making no sense because you were tired and ill, and I was ill and grumpy. So it was basically, do not podcast when you're not in the right mindset for it.
Yeah.
And that's what you did.
Yeah, definitely.
But things have developed since the previous podcast.
Yeah, they fucking have.
Shit has gone down.
Yeah. What shit, Chris? What shit?
Bravely Second shit. That's what
Bravely
shit.
Second shit. Right, well, let's start from the top then.
Shall I explain this then?
Right,
I absolutely love Bravely Second. It is sublime. However, and this is a slight spoiler, there is a point where you only progress the story by starting New Game Plus. And then the story only progresses if you use the Bravely Second ability during the opening boss fight with the Kaiser. And that triggers the advanced version of the story. The game doesn't tell you this, so I tried to go back and do it again, and because it auto-saved when you're passed out in your bedroom. So I tried to delete the New Game Plus file and just try again from my original game save file, and what the game did was delete them both. It wiped out a 56-hour game save where I'd maxed out the entire lunar base. I was one-shotting balls. I was busting balls, my friends. And I was just fucking fuming. So now what's happening is I am speedrunning a JRPG to get back to where it is, skipping all the cutscenes. I'm 6 hours in. I've got the marksman asterisk, and I've got nearly level 10 on 2 jobs per character. I am not fucking about now. It's just like,
I was going to say that, like, Bravely Second is probably like the best thing to try and do that with, to get through it quickly. You know, with all like the super fast forward in your battles and just programming like a, you know, a move set that just to wipe everything out.
Yeah, the only boss so far that's been a problem going through it this way has been, I don't know if you've seen it yet, there's a double-headed thing, and one side heals off magic damage, and the other side takes damage from it, and the other side does the same, but reversed with physical damage. It's like a two-headed salamander. Yeah. That was the only boss that's been a bit of a dick, because I've gone through it with everything almost on autopilot.
Right. So you're just like relearning your abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I've changed it. So where you'd normally do your side quests to unlock extra jobs, I fucked off the summoner and went for the swordmaster instead because it's just broken. So I've got Adia just one-shotting everything with this ice sword that I found. And she's just like, right, that's dead, that's dead, that's dead, that's dead, that's dead. And just, I got the freelancer ability up to the highest point to boost job points for people, so everything's leveling faster. And I've just got the Hawkeye, so I've not bothered using Charioteer or Wizard, really. So I went straight into Red Mage before I had anything else magical set up. And I'm just tearing the arse out of that game at the minute. It's like I've not hit a boss that's been a problem, and I'm about 2 levels ahead of where the game needs me to be all the time.
Right. So you just pretty much just ripping it a fucking new one.
I'm ripping it a new one, and I've got the encounter rate on plus 100% all the time.
Right. So you're just like stepping outside, fighting battle after battle after battle.
I'm going through the story dungeon, fighting double the amount of fights and grinding, and just grinding up to the boss fight, caving the boss in because I've saved all my super moves, and bravely seconding bosses. I got the gunfight woman.
Oh yeah.
Marksman. I hit her with 3 bravely seconded ultimates and killed her.
Jesus.
I went in. The second I get the monk, this game's gonna end because it's just broken then.
See, I'm still using the charioteer. I don't know what it is about it, but the idea of strapping weapons to every part of my body and like forsaking armor.
Sounds like, isn't it?
It's great. I just have this image of Tiz just jumping at foes and just whirling around, like hitting them with every part of his body that he can.
It's weird. I've got Tiz set up as a red mage at the minute.
Yeah.
But the other way around, it was that you was the red mage, but I've decided to make you a bit more of a tank.
Can he do it? Like I thought Tiz was like a bit more physically, like had like the base stats to just kind of take hits and shit.
Well, Tiz has always had the best stats to just kind of go in on people. But I've kind of got Idea set up as a physical damage dealer. Magnolia is... I can't remember what she is at the minute. I think she might be a wizard. With the spell crafting stuff.
Yeah.
Yu's currently a fencer. And I think I might make him a sword master instead, because that ability where you can just get hit and then counter attack.
Well, you can have the two of them.
Yeah.
Well, you can have him a sword master, but give him the abilities of a fencer, which is what I'm planning on doing with Idea, because she's that would just be broken. Just being able to switch stances and then, do like your counter attack move kind of stuff. That'll just be broken. But I think we said that last time, didn't we? It was like Bravely Second. Like the great thing about it is that you can abuse it so badly, and it's more about combining, like getting like a perfect a synergy almost between your team and everything.
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
It's that thing where it's kind of like you can have, because of that sort of spellcrafting element with the wizard class, where you can change the way different abilities work, and there's that mist one that makes it so you cast on every turn. Yeah, if you're a summoner and you've got that set, you can make it so the summon triggers at the end of every round. and you just sit there and go, right, you get the summon where it doesn't do any damage, but it can insta-kill stuff. And just sit there and just mist, default all the time, mist, default all the time, and just be like, come at me, bro.
Yeah, but it's a great little game for little tricks like that.
It speaks volumes about a game that can delete a 50-hour save through something that mechanically is really shit, but I still want to pick it up and play it. It took me a couple of days for the rage to subside, and I played other things instead. But I sat down.
Well, I remember getting those texts from you, and it was just all capitals all the time. It was. I don't think I've ever kind of received text so fucking rage filled.
I think I might actually be able to pull those up, so I can let people give people an insight into just how fucking mad I was. Let's see. Let's scroll back through these. I'll spot them because it'll be all caps.
Yeah, exactly. I think for 4 or 5 messages you were just using capital letters.
I can't read the first one. There's far too many C-bombs in it.
I'll go for it.
I put the fucking seeing.
Just say it. Just say it. Let the hate flow through you.
I put the fucking cunting fucking cunt DS just fucking deleted my fucking Bravely Second fucking game save. To which Alex's sensible and comforting reply was, "What? You have to fuck about with game saves for the game to proceed, and it fucked mine up." deleted the New Game Plus file and deleted the whole lot. I was like, I went, how? New Game Plus? You finished it then? It's like, because the menu system doesn't tell you that it deletes everything. I was after one slot. 55 hours fucking wasted. Fuck it. Not fucking starting again. No, the game needs New Game Plus for the story to continue. It's fucking stupid. Like, on a level hitherto unseen in any game ever. Just nearly fucked the DS across the room. It can get to fuck. Amazing game, but the cunt that thought of that needs stabbing. That is a level of anger I've never, ever hit with a game before. And I played the Souls games and was bad at them.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like, it's really bad that that's something that can potentially happen
It's
it.
It's that thing. It's like, you remember when you used to play games like on the original PlayStation, sometimes on like early PS2 games, where it could autosave if you were falling to your death, and it just always load the fall, and you had to start the whole game again.
It was like a fail state kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was almost like a new version of that.
Yeah,
and it's kind of annoying that I'm hoping whatever they do next handheld-wise, Nintendo decide that it makes more sense to save on the console than it does on the cartridge.
It's one of the reasons why, like, I think PlayStation and Xbox are a bit ahead of. Well, they're definitely ahead of the curve of Nintendo in terms of their online stuff. But like, have cloud saves.
Yeah,
like, why would you even want it on your console?
Have the ability to back your saves up somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. That would be good. But then I'm sure Nintendo. I like Nintendo, you see, but I really do think that they have no idea when it comes to the internet.
I love Nintendo, and I saw a GIF today that if it was a game, I don't care what the console cost, I would buy it. It was a GIF, and it was Rocket League, but with Mario Kart, like on the SNES's graphical style, and you were playing as the Mario Kart characters, tearing around in the Mario Karts.
That'd be pretty cool.
And I was just like, that would be awesome. But then I realised it's Nintendo. They'd announce it, and it wouldn't come out in the West for another 4 years. And there'd be like 6 copies of it in the UK.
Yeah, after like a week, it'd cost like 90 quid.
Because that's what happened with every other Nintendo franchise game.
Well, they just hold the value really well.
We worked in game in the dark days of the Super Mario Brothers Wii game coming out. Do you remember the one in the red box?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And Mario Kart and Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, weirdly.
But it's really funny. It's like working in games retail at that time. Every Wii game like pre-owned was like £2, other than like an official Nintendo game that like was still at like 40 fucking quid. It's ridiculous.
To be honest, that was just because we worked in game.
Yeah, that's true. Fucking shameless. Don't know how I slept at night.
On a big pile of pre-owned games that you got 25% off, you spawny twat.
Yeah, that was alright, wasn't it? Yeah, so what else have you been doing? What else has been happening?
I have been playing 2 other games other than Bravely Second.
Yeah?
And those are the Star Wars Battlefront, because the DLC's just come out. I've not got the DLC, but what we'll say is I really, really like the way they've implemented it. Like Greedo and the Neon Nub guy.
Yeah.
You can play a game without the DLC and they'll still be running around on the map. It's just you can't activate them. And then there's all the DLC stuff that's in the Hut contracts. So you can see how that works, but you only get access to 2 of them.
Yeah,
if you've not got the DLC. So it's kind of, it doesn't penalise you. It's extra gear that people have access to, and it doesn't seem really imbalanced or anything.
Well, no, but like, can regular people buy it now? Like, people who don't have the season pass. So I remember, like, when me and you were playing it a couple of nights ago, and I went to have a look, and it was all what behind the season pass, and I couldn't even.
I don't know if it's ever going to be unlocked from behind the season pass, to be honest.
So you need to buy the season pass to have it.
I think so, which is why the season pass is extortionately expensive. That's the bit I don't like.
See that? Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed about that, but at the same time, I think when the Bespin DLC comes out, I think I'll be all right with it because I really want to see them. I really want to be able to shoot some people in Cloud City
as Lando, because that's what it's going to be. You're going to have to be playing as Lando Calrissian.
Lando Calrissian and one of the other shit.
I think you're going to be
members.
Lando and IG-88, to be honest.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
But I think IG-88's going to have like a dart gun on his arm that I think can lock onto people or something.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. And Lando's going to be kind of
Princess Leia too.
He's going to be like the halfway point between Princess Leia and
Han Solo. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. In fact, it might even be Chewbacca. Or is Chewbacca already one of them?
No, Chewbacca's not one yet. But I think they'll do Lando and Bespin, and I think you'll get... I think the Death Star one will be
Obi-Wan
Kenobi, and I don't know, maybe like an Imperial Guard, or I love the idea of it being Christopher not Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing.
I love
was going to say Grand Moff Tarkin.
Fucking amazing. And then the fourth one that they've not confirmed, I think that'll be when you get Chewbacca and you get someone else as a villain. I'm not sure who though.
Yeah, in the original trilogy though, I can't really think of many other villains. But then again, if you told me that Greedo was going to be in it,
just give you a Gamorrean.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Or what's he called? The guy who has the death sentence on all the systems.
Oh, him.
That'd be so good. He's like,
"You'll be dead.
You'll be dead." And that's all he does. He just runs out points and says, "You'll be dead," and then you get a timer, and you have to get a certain number of kills.
I love that guy. I really do love that guy. I love the idea of him. Like, it didn't matter who it was who was sat next to him. He was going to tell him, "I've got the death sentence on 12 systems. You better watch yourself." I love that. Like, that's his opening gambit in any conversation.
I'm hoping, especially after seeing the Rogue One trailer today, that he's in Rogue One and there's a callback, but he's only got the death sentence on 11 systems.
Yeah.
And you see one of the things he did.
Yeah. It'd be ironic he takes someone's arm off.
Oh, ironically. So
yeah, that'd be pretty good.
He just takes the arm off and just prop a knowing wink to the camera. But yeah, I've really enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, it's a great. I'm not really an online shooter guy. I think like the last time I really got into an online shooter was when
it'd be the first Modern Warfare, wouldn't it? That we used to all play together.
Yeah, first Modern Warfare, I'd probably say. But this one, I like it. I like the fact that it's a bit more dip in, dip out, a bit more arcadey. Like the way that the vehicles and stuff like that work in it. I really like.
I just love the fact that it's Star Wars,
but so like lovingly recreated. It's great.
I think
good.
What it is it's a reboot of a franchise that's just going to be awesome, because it's like someone pointed out on Twitter today. They went, Rogue One says it's a Star Wars story, but you got to think that's an entire universe. You don't have to tell a story that focuses on the Imperials and the Rebels.
Exactly.
You don't have to tie it to something that's gone before. You can just tell an entirely different story in that universe. So what they should be doing now is going, what would be really cool in space that we could sort of skin up Star Wars wise? And I'm just waiting for EA to put a big open world RPG together in the Star Wars universe.
I'm sure it's going to happen.
I reckon actually this year they're going to turn around and be like, by the way, here's another Knights of the Old Republic.
Who would you like them to do it? Who would you like to do it?
I'd really like BioWare to do it, but I'd like it to be old BioWare, not new shit BioWare.
See,
I don't want Bethesda to touch it. That'd be awful.
Definitely not Bethesda. CD Projekt Red, I think, would do a really fucking good job.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that'd be so good. But at the same time, Cyberpunk could just blow whatever anyone else was out of the water.
Yeah,
they are. It's them. They're one of my favorite developers. Them, and I know people. For some reason, everyone's getting arsey saying the ending of Uncharted 4 will be divisive. But I still love Naughty Dog. Get the way.
I think Naughty Dog are absolutely brilliant. I think you can't, I don't think there's a developer out there that can make a game look like they do, like give it that same kind of polish. I mean, other than DICE, like say with Star Wars Battlefront, I don't think I've ever been as impressed by a game visually as I have when
DICE
Uncharted 2
based
came
in Sweden?
out. I think so.
Because I'm starting to think DICE are based in Sweden, CD Projekt were based in Poland. Is it just Eastern European game developers are really good at making games that look good?
Could be. But then again, it was a Polish developer that made that Hatred game, and that was shite.
I just laughed when I saw that game. I just thought that's just designed to court controversy.
Well, exactly, and I think
gaming controversy is just the stupidest thing in the fucking world because it's just a game. Calm down. Why are you getting bothered about a virtual arse?
Yeah.
It was like that thing that got tweeted today where someone was going, the character model's been designed with a particularly deep arse crack. It's like, why are you analysing the...
How did they couldn't have said that seriously.
No, they had a wireframe of the art, and they said this arse crack was a conscious choice by the developer. And you're like,
oh, state of them cunts, mate. Imagine being that guy.
Oh, it wasn't a guy. It was, I can't remember what her name is. It's that woman who argues with Total Biscuit all the time.
I don't even know.
Brianna Wu, I think she's called. She's a developer, but she kind of she spoke out a lot against all the Gamergate stuff that was generally horrible.
Yeah, that is absolutely awful.
But this just seems like it's almost like people have gone, oh well, that's not newsworthy anymore. We need to have something else to rail against, and we'll rail against this virtual arse in a game that's free to play, and we don't particularly have. Well, it's not free to play; you have to pay to buy it. So
on consoles, I think now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's that thing. It's Overwatch, so it's like you got to pay to buy it, you got to pay to play it. You kind of look at it and go, why? If you're that bothered, vote with your wallet. Don't whinge. Don't whinge and hope they'll change it, because all that means is they're going, oh, we've got a guaranteed audience if we change this arse. Whereas it's a case of them going,
we could lose an audience if we don't. What I did like about that story, though, is how Blizzard went, all right, yeah, we'll change the arse. And then they made it worse.
Yeah, I just thought, I imagine there was just some guy, it was his last day. He was one day out from retirement, and he was like, look at the state of these bastards, shouting about a virtual arse.
I'll give him something to fucking shout about.
I'll
make that arse crack deeper. I'll entrench in that fucker.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't get why. I can see why people would be annoyed, but at the same time, the people who would be annoyed are going like, "Oh, they've turned her into a sexual object." I was like, okay, I'd be the first person with my hand up saying, 1, she's fictional. 2, she's computer generated. 3, she's on the internet. And 4, you're wanking to game characters for, you weirdo. And I know that might sound like kink shaming, but these are the sort of people who genuinely believe there were cheats to make Lara Croft nude. And you know what I mean? It's that thing where it's like, by all
drowning her just so they can crack one off to the noises of it.
Yeah. No, it's just wrong. That's what I mean. It's like, why don't the people complain about League of Legends when every piece of character art for a female in it seems to be, oh, look how sexy and pin-up posy they are?
Well, I think, if I remember rightly, like a lot of this like comes from that one comment of this guy going, how do I play this with my kids around? How do I explain this to my kids? And it's like, if you have to like explain to a child what an arse is, I think they have a really good idea of what a human arse is.
Well, no, they're saying like, how do I explain objectification and explain this and all this sort of stuff? I think that's what they were getting at, and you kind of go, you don't. It's a PEGI 16 rated game. Your kids shouldn't be watching you play it because it's unsuitable for them.
Well,
What you should be doing is interacting with your child first and the game second, not having your child be a spectator while you're playing a game.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree with that. But I mean, look at it this way, right? It depends how big the child is, right? Because a kid is. I can't imagine a child really having burning questions and really, getting all fucked up and down because of objectification of women, like especially like small children. I don't think they'll understand it.
To be honest, thinking about it, as a kid, I think most people would look at that picture and go, "Haha, you can see a bum."
Yeah, bum.
That'd be their reaction. That's funny. That's a bum. And,
exactly.
And it's that thing where it's like, I think there's an argument for there is a definite need to discuss the way things are represented in games, because that is the way things are going now. It's all about tightening. It's all about tightening up and making sure things get a fair representation and are represented in a way that's not offensive to people. But at the same time, there's this horrible pervading culture across everything at the minute, like film, TV, games, books, clothing, generally being outside, trees, politics, you name it. Someone says something, someone somewhere is offended by it. And the internet and social media has given them a platform to voice that offence. And all of a sudden, people gather around them and either go, "Why are you offended? Stop being a dick. Get down off your high horse." And then it kicks off this whole argument. It's like, "Well, you're invalidating my opinion," or it starts a movement of angry people. What happened to these people just writing into points of view in the vain hope that their letter got read out by someone with a patronising accent? That's what we should get back to. These people should not be allowed Twitter.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think anything. There's nothing really more I can say about it, Chris. I think if someone has this opinion of they believe what they're saying is so fucking important and that their point of view is like the be all and end all, without really delving into the issues and without really giving a thought to anything, but they still need to run their little fucking mouth about it, I think they need to be drowned, personally. But
you can't say that, man. That's offensive, and I'm going to go to Twitter. But no, it's that thing where it's like people read stuff now and go, "That offends my sensibilities," and it's like, does it offend you, or do you think that by saying it offends you, you're avoiding offending other people?
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's how I view it. It's like it's like, fuck's sake, a comedian like Frankie Boyle. So when people go, "Oh my god, he's offensive," all right, fine. I'm not going to sit you down like a Clockwork Orange and make you watch him. You don't need to stop other people from watching his comedy because you don't like it. Just don't watch it. I think Michael McIntyre panders to the lowest comedic denominator, thick people, and that means I'm not going to watch
Michael McIntyre
because I don't find him funny. I'm not going to turn around and go, "Why are you watching that to people?"
Yeah, it's not like you've got anything to say about people watching it. It's not like you fucking hate people because they watch it or anything, or think they're. Well, actually, you did just say thick people.
I've just had one of my instant formed theories.
What?
Do you not think that because it always seems to centre around games and gaming culture or something vaguely nerdy that people seem to be offended by and seem to have like a disproportionate reaction to? Do you not think that stems back to when you were just a humble nerd in school and you accidentally mentioned you liked something and some sporty meathead had turned around like, "What'd you like that for?" And you'd immediately have to go on the defensive? It's like doing that to each other. All of a sudden, you've turned into the thing that you didn't like happening to you, but you're doing it to everybody else. And it's that thing was like, step back, have an objective word with yourself, and realise that not everybody gives a fuck about your opinion.
Well, I think like the crux of it is that some of the issues that people actually want to discuss are very complex, and there's a lot of layers to them, and I just think the majority of people aren't really equipped to talk about them.
I think they get lost.
Well, for example, this whole thing with the representation of women in games and, and gender and that kind of thing, it's a very complex discussion, and I mean, I personally have never really had any gender issues or anything, so a lot of it kind of goes over my head a little bit. I mean, I'm sympathetic towards it, obviously, but it's something that I'm not really equipped to deal with. And there are thousands of people out there who seem to think that
they know how to solve it.
Yeah, when they don't, because it's an individual problem. There are as many problems of it as there are people, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's that man in the pub thing where it's like, I know what I'd sort it out. If I was in charge, this is what I'd do and this would fix it. And it's like, well, it wouldn't, because you're fixing it based on what you perceive as the issue. But
yeah, exactly.
There's so many different caveats to it, because it's sort of like, it's like when oh God, what was it? There was someone was kicking off about something to do with games the other day. And it was like, and there was a thing with the Star Wars trailer as well, like going, oh, look, it's another female lead character. And I kind of imagine that there's a lot of these people who didn't play Metroid. You get the ending where you were kind of going, oh yeah, I'm playing all the way through as Samus. This guy is awesome. Hang on, it's a woman. What? As a child, that blew my fucking mind.
Well, I think for a lot of people as well, it's like, some people go out of their way as well to kind of counteract this. Yeah, to be offensive. And, I mean, a lot of the time they're just dickheads, really. But it's like, I think the biggest problem with this, like, I don't know, it's like these people who are offended by everything are almost creating a rod for their own backs. Like, because you're going to get people out there who like to bait them and like to offend people and want to kind of show these people that they're not as self-important as they seem to think they are. They're not as important as they seem to think they are, I mean, and will go out of their way to...
Yeah, it's the people that refer... It's like the whole thing was like, oh, look at you, you delicate little flower.
Well, this is the thing, really.
It's social justice warrior, isn't it? That's the term that people use.
Well, yeah, what came first, the social justice warrior or the Gamergate wanker? It's like the chicken and the egg for our time.
This is true. It's that thing where it's like, it's all about ethics in games journalism. No, it's not. No one ever bought an official PlayStation magazine for the articles. They bought it for the free fucking demo.
Well, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, when did it become a thing that games journalism had to be ethical? It's not like they're fucking reporting on actually anything important.
Yeah, the games, they're designed to be fun, and at the same time, if you need somebody to sit there and tell you whether you should play a game or not, you should not be allowed a console, because you can't be trusted to manage your own decisions.
Yeah.
It's the same people who go, oh my God, there needs to be more ethics in games journalism, are the same bunch of fuckwits that swat one another. And you sort of sit there thinking, you shouldn't be allowed a console. You should barely be allowed the internet. You can't be trusted.
Yeah, the fact that they do something like that shows they have no idea what ethics actually are. So,
yeah, it's like, if you're gonna, yeah, exactly. There we go. We solved this shit, man. We've just cured Gamergate. Gamergate's just been closed, bitches.
That what got out of hand pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, well, it didn't so much get out of hand. It was just talking about an actual newsworthy topical issue in gaming, and then we turned into people putting the world to rights, which were essentially what we were railing against. So we've become that which we always hated.
Exactly, chicken or the egg. Gamergate or
and social justice
war.
wanker. To be honest, it's just different species of dickhead. It's just
Pretty much.
can't we all just sit down, shut up, and
Realise-
enjoy this mad little hobby we've all got?
Yeah, realise you're not important. There you go.
It's not even that you're not important. It's just that in the grand scheme of things, the opinion of one person.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, cynical as it may sound, that I'm never going to change the way anything I do is viewed, or anything I like is viewed, unless I wrote stuff myself. But at the same time, it's like people are kind of waiting for the writing to. It's like this that whole thing with that Baldur's Gate character, where everyone's going, "Oh my god!"
I don't even know what this is.
Right in the new add-on, like they did the enhanced edition of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
The company that made it have done an expansion pack for it. Now, in this expansion pack, there is a gay character and a transgender character.
Okay.
And I think there's a bisexual character. And basically, one bunch of people, let's call them bigoted pricks, kicking off because there's these characters who represent these different groups and saying that they're shoehorned into the game and all this sort of stuff. And then there's the other side of it, where there's people who are going, yeah, this is really cool. There's all these really progressive characters. Some of them only have like 2 or 3 lines of dialogue. The thing that is a bit unnatural is they'll introduce themselves by defining what they are, like going, oh, I'm a gay character, or I'm trans, or is that a problem kind of thing.
Right.
And you kind of think, well, the whole point of a character is they're not defined by stuff like that.
No, exactly.
You're not. It's that thing where it's like all these people going, oh, I need to find a way of describing myself and a pronoun that goes along with me and that sort of thing. It's like, okay, I get it if the one that, like the gender binary doesn't apply to you in a way that you perceive it doing, but that's not what makes you a person. So why is it such a big issue that it gets directly referred to by a character? You don't need to know what they do.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we've gone proper political deep conversation now.
Yeah, we've turned a corner, Chris.
We've turned a corner. We've become serious comment.
Jesus, kill us now.
I'm not sure I like this. This is.
Nah.
Do you know what this is? Do you know what we've done?
Well, we're gonna have a Tumblr now.
No.
So, speaking of which, we do actually have a Tumblr. I don't use it.
What? What do you mean we have a Tumblr?
We have a Tumblr.
What I was going to say was this is the spoken equivalent of, and I hope this goes echoey.
Don't worry, I'll be able to do something with that in post. It's going to sound epic. I put some dubstep behind it.
Don't put dubstep behind it. Just put some echo on it, so it's just like, oh, think, peace.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we kind of laid the worlds to rights there. I guess. I hope we didn't.
I hope we didn't actually. I hope we didn't actually offend anybody by because.
Other than those people that I said before that need to be drowned, I stand by that.
And it's that thing where it's like, that's the other thing with it though. It's like you're trying to articulate an opinion sometimes, and you're worrying about how you articulate it. Because now I'm thinking back over what I've said and going, Jesus, I hope that came out right. Because it's that thing where it's kind of like, basically, put it this way: if you give a shit whether someone's gay, straight, bi, transgender, a drag queen, the Pope, anything like that, then you're missing out on a huge part of what a person actually is by just looking at something really simple that doesn't actually matter. Is the way I'd look at it.
These issues are like big issues for some people, and it can be I imagine it can be something that can almost define who you are because of like the journey that you take to get to the point of realizing something like that.
Any of those sort of definitions that you slap on people doesn't make them a good or a bad person.
Yeah, exactly.
Them just being a prick makes them a good or a bad person.
Yeah, it's your actions and your words, really.
It's your actions, not various levels of tubage.
Yeah.
That's really weird. We kind of got confused again. Anyway, Final Fantasy 15 demo.
Yeah.
Hype as fuck.
Yeah, mate. I'm well on the fucking
What
train
a
for that.
segue!
Yeah, you pulled that one right out. That's pretty good. Got us back on track.
Pulled that
Um,
out. That. See, there you go. That's the degree of professionalism we need back in this shit.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, have you played it?
Yes, I turned into a giraffe deer thing, and I beat the shit out of a dog with my face. 10 out of 10.
Good.
Day one.
I liked turning into a car and
Driving around
hardwood
and
floors. That was an incredibly a beautiful hardwood floor. And as someone who has laid many a board of laminate flooring, I appreciate it. I appreciate the attention to detail. Someone really put the graft in on that.
all I'll say is I loved it. It was like
Yeah,
just it was weird. It was kind of that thing where it was like because I never got to play episode Duskay or whatever it was called.
yeah.
I was just running around as Noctis in a dreamscape, and all I could think was, I'm playing Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, it's a bit of a magical feeling, isn't it?
I'm playing it, and it plays like how I want Kingdom Hearts to play.
Yeah.
And I bet Kingdom Hearts plays a lot like it, actually, probably a little bit faster. But
See,
I was just playing it and going, this looks great.
what did you think of that moment at the end? I mean, spoilers for if you've not gone through the demo, but it is free and you should download it and you should play it. But what did you think of that bit at the end? You know, where you come out and you get on the pad and but it's obviously Carbuncle, the little
The little wheat thing.
Yeah. Thing that looks like it's from The Last Guardian. That's weird, isn't it?
It was just that thing where he's looking at the monster and he's just like, I'm not afraid. And then
You turn into Noctis. And it's like, oh my god.
I was sat there, it was like, I had that kind of, oh shit, this is epic. So,
Mate,
the first time I did a warp strike off a lamppost, that
it's
was the thing where
so
I just
good.
went, sold.
See, what I like about the combat as well is that it's a little weird to get used to at first,
yeah.
but I like the fact that it's more about chaining combos and getting decent enough. You know what I mean? Like knowing when to dodge and that kind of. Not quite Dark Souls, but has that like almost real time combat that Dark Souls has.
It's like when you're playing it. All I could think was, this is what I think they were aiming at with 13.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what it's going to be like in terms of switching between characters. If you can, I don't know if you
if I remember on episode Disque, you weren't able to, but the combat has changed slightly since episode Disque. It's a bit more fluid this time. They seem to have tightened the screws a bit, which I'm very happy about because my only complaint of episode Disque was that the combat seemed a bit woolly in places, and it seemed that you could just hold down square and win. Like, you know what I mean? It was like auto dodge kind of stuff. And it, though I could see it being alright, you know what I mean? Like, I could see it having a place in the game, but at the same time, it just was very passive and felt very kind of Final Fantasy 13-esque in that sense. But yeah, I really liked it. I also loved like how it was pretty much just showing you the world. You know what I mean? Like stepping on them pads and like changing the weather and then changing the time of day and stuff. And oh, it was so gorgeous.
That first one where you walk under that rock bridge, you stand on the pad and the big fire elemental leans down and looks under at you.
Oh, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant.
Did you find the one by the lake?
Yeah, and
where you've got that big weird dragon thing in the sky that flies over and dives into the lake. I was just like, oh shit, this is epic. I'm kind of thinking I need to hunt round the rest of them because there's stuff everywhere in that demo.
Yeah, there is, and it all goes off. It all goes off how many of those, like little collectible things you get. Like I think one of the Bitsocket guys was on Twitter was saying that he got like the majority of them, and there was still like one or two pads that he couldn't use. But yeah, it's really fucking good. Got me really really hyped. And because I remember because when they announced it was at that PlayStation event thing, not PlayStation, the actual event for it, and they announced the film, which looks good, and they did the new trailer. Have you watched the new trailer?
I can't remember which one. I don't think I have.
I think it was the Japanese language one I saw, but so I don't really know anything that's going on, and that's a good way to stay spoiler free with it. Really, I'd say is watch it in Japanese without any subtitles. But yeah, it just looks like they've really gone to town with it and really kind of taken a step forward, in like with their game. It doesn't look like a JRPG anymore. I mean, and in a way, kind of sad to see it go that way, but in another way, I'm just so excited to see what they're going to actually do with it.
Yeah, I like the idea of, well, Final Fantasy was supposed to be the antithesis to a JRPG anyway.
Yeah, it was.
I like the idea of them actually going, shit, that's what we were supposed to do. Because it's kind of like, it's weird. It's sort of, it happens every so often with like things in Japan, though, doesn't it? Because it was like, Evangelion was supposed to be the antithesis to how Mecha Story was, and then it became the norm.
Yeah.
And then they kind of had to do things like Gurren Lagann to change it back.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it's really strange. I mean, and plus as well, you don't really get very many of these open world Japanese games. Like, there's only a handful I can really think of. But whereas over here, every RPG seems to be an open world RPG to some degree. And
do you think that's because like a lot of them kind of base themselves off Western fantasy fiction and Western science fiction, and a lot of those are always kind of, here's a big epic journey, and there's always a map on the first 2 pages of the book, and it's kind of got that inspiration, whereas Japanese sort of RPGs and the way they tell stories in Japan, it's kind of, there's a lot more there's arcs, but it's kind of, this is definitely this episode. This is definitely this episode.
Yeah, it's very prescriptive, isn't it?
It's very set, and it's always kind of, instead of it being like, there's always on JRPGs, it's kind of, you go to this town, you advance the story. You go to this town, you advance the story. The overworld map is literally a means to an end, whereas in a Western RPG, it's almost more fun to get from one place to another, just because of all the shit that you find in the journey
in between. Yeah, it seems to be like, I'd say
like the ambient stuff in The Witch is more fun than a lot of the prescribed stuff.
Definitely. Like, you can lose yourself in The Witcher, whereas I'd argue now there's only like a handful of good JRPGs out there. I'd say, like, now there's only like a few that I would even like consider playing, but at the same time,
my
I think that
JRPG list is massive for this year.
Yeah, no, but
keep looking at that Star Ocean game that's coming out and just thinking, when you're cheap.
Yeah, when you're cheap, and I eventually find like 80 hours just spare.
Oh, you probably got 17 and a half years until you'll have that time spare.
Nah, I'm saving it all up for Persona 5, mate. I'm just going to cash it in.
Just baby in a cat box, Persona 5 is on.
Yeah. No, is it?
Teach him to play it.
Yeah, exactly.
Bonding experience. After we've talked about Final Fantasy, have you tried playing the Yokai Watch demo
again? Yeah. I like that game, Chris.
This is where we fell down on the last one, because we started just... It basically turned into me and Alex sat there going, that game's so damn charming.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely.
How many games do you know that are that charming? And it turned into us going on about charming games.
Yeah, and every now and then I just cough my guts up.
Yes, you would. It was bizarre. It was almost like the talk of charming stuff was killing you.
You know me, anything that's too charming just
has to die.
I'm allergic to it.
I'm allergic to charm. Leave me be.
Yeah. No, but it is a great little thing. It's I imagine it's one of those games that like can really put you in a good mood. Like I love like the combat system, like how it makes you do like a load of different things, like how it's not like Pokemon in the sense of you pick someone, they go out, they do a load of moves, and then you can choose to withdraw them. It's like a constant switching between everyone. Like you can have 3 out on the field at once, and you can activate all of their abilities, but like each one you'll have to do like a different thing. Like you have to draw a certain shape, or you'll have to spin, like make a rotary motion on the on the 3DS bottom screen.
Spin them back through to where they had them. Like I love how they kind of all run round on a wheel, so you can just I just think that's it was just a really nice combat system.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, combat systems that go between the 2 screens on the DS, I get a bit annoyed about. Something like The World Ends With You was like, and I love The World Ends With You. Like, it's one of my favourite games on the DS, but that whole puck business, like between the top screen and the bottom screen.
Oh God, yeah.
Fucking clown shoes.
It depended on the pins you had set as well, which
yeah, that's true. But that's another game I think I would probably put in the whole like lifts my mood a little bit kind of thing. Really nice art style. I mean, like I said, the combat system once you get it all set up properly is actually pretty good. It's just that initial like passing a putt thing's a bit bollocks, but great little art style, great little game, surprisingly deep as well.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think of anything that lifts your mood a bit?
The Pokemon. Pokemon, because basically it's me having mastery over beasts.
Something that you pine for in real life.
Oh, it's just that thing where it's just kind of I just enjoy the games. It's one of those things. It's got that nostalgia factor.
Yeah,
and that's always nice in games.
Yeah, especially when it makes you feel like when you're looking to, lift your mood up a bit. It's yeah, I think that as well. Like Pokemon games, like I think Red and Blue. Like I know it's obviously because it's the beginning, but it's whenever I think about that, you get them warm and fuzzy feelings, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's that thing where you just kind of you sat there going, yeah, it makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah, man.
It's one of those games that just brightens your mood.
Yeah, I think the Zelda games do that. But to be honest, I think a lot of Nintendo games do that. Zelda does it for me. Like I've been playing Link to the Past a little bit recently. Yeah, and just whenever I get into Hyrule on that game, it's just so nice, so bloody lovely. Yeah, and it's aged brilliantly as well. Like it's still great to play that one. Really fucking good.
Well, to be honest, that's what you want from a game. Is you want something that's going to make you feel. To be honest, any games should do that anyway. They should make you happy.
Yeah, they should. I mean, that's why they're called games. I mean,
why else would you spend 50 quid on something?
Other than horror games, horror games, I'm alright with a horror game scaring me. But granted, I don't want it to be too scary. I don't want to be Alien Isolation, Chris. I don't want it to be like a fear putting the game on. That game shit me up.
That game shit you up good, and I remember you being like, I can't play it. And I've seen people play it on an Oculus Rift, and I reckon there's going to be a PlayStation VR version, and I just look at it and just go, nope.
No, why would you put yourself through it? I mean, granted, I know that like it's not real or anything, but fucking hell, that game is terrifying in places. Like, and I don't think describing it does it justice. You need to actually play it to truly understand it. It's more like, do you know, like, have you ever? I don't know if you have. This could get quite deep, Chris. But have you ever been chased and like, it's that dread that there's something out there, looking for you all the time, that there's no escape from it.
Mate, I live on New Lane, and I have a childhood history of being bullied. Of course, I've been chased.
Well, that's what it feels like. That game is just like, I can't deal with it, and I really want to because I fucking love Alien, but I just can't. I need to get through it. I'll do it eventually, but it's one of those games that like I only put on for like half an hour at a time, and even then, sometimes that's too much for me. I'm a bit of a pussy when it comes to like horror games. I like my horror games to be like horror games that I can cope with are stupid ones. Things like The Evil Within, where it's not really scary. It's just it's just horror themed. Really, it's a horror themed action game rather than an actual horror game. But like when something is genuinely terrifying, I shit it. Can't have it. Can't handle it.
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't like being scared. I don't like it at all. I'm quite a naturally panicky person, so it's things like
Yeah.
it's like everyone talks about Resident Evil 4 going, oh, the beginning where the dude turns up with a chainsaw, or the beginning of 5 where you're running around the favela and there's the guy trying to cut your head off. And I'm sat there going, I ain't got time for this shit. It's why it was like, I was sat there going, oh yeah, The Last of Us, amazing game, never going to trade it in, never going to stop playing it. Got through to the end of it once, was like, that was fucking exhausting. It's just
To be fair, I think I felt the same about The Last of Us.
when you go through the bit in, I can't remember whether it's a school or the college, and it's the bit with the infection in it, and you're trying to open that door, and there's one of those big bastards is behind the door you've just come through,
Oh yeah.
and you're just watching him get close to you, hammering a button. It
Yeah.
was just that bit. I was like, nope, get fucked, get all of the way to fuck. Or whenever you hear a clicker, I was just like, no.
See, I don't mind that kind of thing. Like,
Did you not see the thing that some cosplayers did in Britain?
no.
Where they dressed up as clickers, and I mean like game accurate, and were in like a, like the Owlman thing, where it's like, go away, in that hospital.
Yeah.
Imagine being a gamer, walking into a disused hospital, and then through one broken window across into another window hospital, you see someone posing as a clicker for the photo shoot.
Shit myself.
The fucking speed I'd get out of there. I don't
Oh,
care how
God.
many floors up I am. I'd be gone.
Jump. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's like generally with
I'd be
horror
carrying
games.
bricks. I'd just be gone.
Generally with horror games, it's like if I can deal with the threat, I'm all right. Like, Dead Space is a really good example. Like, Dead Space 1 and 2 really gets dangerously close to the point where I was just like, no, fuck it. No, can't handle that. But you always have an out, and there's always like you can always like just fucking murder stuff on it. So it's like, I'm not too bothered, but like Amnesia's another game. I just can't handle it. I don't know why. And I'm not even fucking bothered with Outlast because I know that I'm not going to like it. So, yeah, I just don't know what it is about. Well, I know exactly what it is about them. It's the fact that they shit me up. That's exactly it.
They go, alright, it's a first-person horror game. And I go, so it's not
Nope.
for me. I just go, no,
Nope.
not for me.
I liked PT. Like, PT I could kind of handle. Like, I didn't think that was that scary. Like, it was rough in places.
I thought PT was just an assessment of me. PT standing for pussy to you. Because I was just like, I ain't playing this shit. You can go away. Yeah. We've talked about all sorts of seasons.
Yeah, we have. Going to be a lot of fixing in post.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Mainly that bit when I tell people to fuck off. That's going to have to go, innit?
There's huge chunks of that conversation that may have to go.
Well, we've only got one listener, so it's like, if I tell him to fuck off, who's going to listen? Chris, hit me with them questions, them beautiful, beautiful listener questions.
Right, well, we've only got one.
Alright.
We've only got one.
Right.
And we're sole listeners.
What, one listener or one question?
One question.
From one listener. Great.
Yeah, basically, there was 2 questions, but one of them was aimed directly at me and wasn't anything to do with games.
Right.
It was, when's that film you wrote coming out? I was like, I don't fucking know. The other question was, of the Souls games and Bloodborne, which would you recommend to a beginner? Like, where would you start with that series? I would say start at the beginning, because if you go from Bloodborne into Dark Souls, you're going to get twatted. But if you went the other way around, you might do all right.
I don't know. I'd say
Either way, you've got to kind of unlearn one way of playing a game to play the other.
Well, see, now this ties back to like my Dark Souls 2 playthrough at the minute. I'm playing it like Bloodborne. I've not got a shield. I'm just going around with a fucking greatsword. I'm doing a Guts from Berserk playthrough.
Please tell me that is working, though.
Yeah, it is. I'm making a fair way through it. I won't finish it before Dark Souls 3 comes out, but I'm getting through it. I think I've only ever had to use my shield once, and that was for a boss fight that is fucking hard. I just can't do it. Like I always have to have help with it. But yeah, it's working all right. But I'd probably say the best place to start.
It might actually be Bloodborne, because I think
I'd say,
eases you
Bloodborne.
into a lot of the. It eases you into some of the mechanics that are common across the board quite nicely.
I'd say, yeah. I mean, I'd say Bloodborne. One, it's the shortest one,
It's more accessible.
It's a lot more accessible. It's a really difficult question, actually. That I'd probably say Dark Souls 2 if you want to get into Dark Souls, or like the Souls games rather than Bloodborne. I'd say Dark Souls 2 is a really good place to start, simply because it's not mechanically. I'd say it's superior to Dark Souls 1. Like, a very unpopular opinion. I think it plays better than Dark Souls 1 does. Story-wise, which nobody gets first time through anyway. Like, you have to, like, go fucking searching for the story in it and all that kind of thing. It's not as good as Dark Souls 1. But everything else, I'd say it does a bit better than Dark Souls 1. But yeah, I would recommend Bloodborne, because it does. Let me start this again, right? Dark Souls 2 to do the if you want to get into Souls, Dark Souls 2, because mechanically it's fucking great. It's a lot better than a lot of people give it credit for. It has a few little wonky moments here and there, but despite what some people say, the Souls games aren't perfect. They are a bit wonky in places. But I would also say Bloodborne is a very good place to start as well, simply because the combat's a lot more fluid and there's a bit more going on with it, and it doesn't last quite as long. So if you don't like it, you're not really in it for as much of a long haul. Plus, it's a bit easier to kind of figure out where you're going in terms of story in Bloodborne. Yeah, I'd say Bloodborne or Dark Souls 2, really. Dark Souls 1 is very, very good, and I can't really speak for Demon's Souls. I've never finished it, but yeah, give them a go. They're worth a fucking play.
They are, even though I'm shit at them.
Yeah.
We've got other questions. Surprise extra questions.
Fucking hell, really?
I was like, well, yeah, you were just about to go and see them. Oh, see, that segue from before that was just so crisp. So smooth.
It's gone now.
It's but a memory.
It's dead.
It's dead. You killed it.
Dead like everything, Chris. It's either dead or dying.
Dead or dying, but just monkeys in shoes.
Yeah, monkeys in shoes on a rock that's falling through space.
And the rock itself is dying.
I lost it. It was something about Doom, if I remember rightly. What do we think about Doom?
I think
I'm going to say that's what it is.
I think.
Yeah.
In terms of what do I think about Doom, I think
it's
Doom
the new Doom mind.
I think Doom looks fucking glorious.
Yes.
I think it looks like, I know before I said I'm not particularly a gore guy, but I am, however, a huge, huge Doom fan. So it's that thing where it's just like, they announced it, I saw the trailer, and I just went, sign me all of the way up. And then I saw more of it, and I saw the multiplayer, and went, well, shit, that's Quake 3. And it was just like, that's in my top 10 list of games of all time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Thing is, it's out 3 days after Uncharted 4. And my need for that game is well documented.
Yeah,
and it's that thing where it's like, what do I do? One of them isn't going to be as good as I'm expecting it to be, and
yeah,
it's the one that's been delayed the most. And to be honest, they've both been delayed a shitload of times. So there's a cynical side of it that's going, oh no, they're both gonna be wank.
I don't know. I think
they're both. I think id will spend so much time on a Doom game because it's their baby. It's also the thing that it's like there's all these fucking people who's like, oh, Doom looks shit. And I'm thinking, just because the multiplayer doesn't have a prestige mode, you little wanker.
I think Doom's happening. I don't know. I'm getting serious Wolfenstein vibes from it, and I loved the New Order. I thought it was fucking great. So yeah, sign me up for Doom.
It's apparently got split screen as well, so it's that thing where it's kind of like what we should do, really. Like, the common sense approach would be buy the game, buy a crate, get wankered and play it multiplayer.
I'd do that.
I'd be up for that. I think we should do that and film it.
Yeah, man. We should definitely do that.
I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah, so do you want to call an end to this shit show? I don't mean for good, I just mean for this episode.
I was going to say, yeah, we've been talking for an hour and a half. We've probably got about 25 minutes that's any use.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, we need to get back into the swing of things. That's what it is. And we've reached that point now where there's a lull, so we can start talking about and doing things to do with the pile of shame.
Yeah, exactly. Games for days, mate. Games for days.
Games for days.
That's 11:30. Right, let's wrap this up then. I'm off to watch some JoJo. Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for listening. We'll go to we keep saying we're going to do some different stuff, but we actually are going to do some different stuff at some point.
At some point, yeah, we'll.
Life gets in the way.
It does. It really does. But yeah. Again,
we might start doing shorter stuff more frequently.
Yeah, definitely.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. So if you want to follow us, you can follow us on Twitter. We're on at Super Thundercast.
Super Thundercast. It's super spelled SUPR.
And then Thundercast. It's all one word.
Yeah, you'll find us.
Yeah, you'll find us.
You can find me at EL_Wervo.
You can find me at Alabaster Mage, all one word.
And we're on YouTube as well somewhere.
Yeah. You might even be listening to this on YouTube, because I put it all up there anyway, so, you know.
So like and subscribe to this shit, because we need the money.
Yeah, we either need money or, yeah, just fucking watch us or something. Just do something, please. See you later, everyone.
That needs a uplifting tune behind it.
It's gonna be the JoJo. Yeah, I'm off to watch some fucking JoJo. See you in a bit.
その血の記憶